Hey again guys, and welcome back. Got 5 packages here. Time for another mailbag. Let's get started. First one up, I've got this one here. This one is first one because it has to go somewhere. This is not for me. November 16th to November 29th. This was delivered pretty quickly. $56.94, and if I would have waited for Black Friday, this is from AliExpress, it would have actually saved me another $12 on top of that. But it doesn't matter, and you'll see why very shortly. So these are actually a set of hearing aids. These are for my grandfather. He wanted me to order them for him. He was going to pay for them, but come on, I wasn't going to let him pay for these. So these are very specific. He very specifically asked for the type that goes inside the ear, not the one that goes behind the ear. And they are so inexpensive that I thought this was a no-brainer. So we got some cleaning brushes here, and we've got the USB, and here is the case, and they're just like headphones. They're like Bluetooth headphones, but they are not Bluetooth. They have a rechargeable lithium battery on the inside, and I am not going to turn them on and stick them in my ears and see if they work or anything. These are for him, so yeah, just going to, ooh, that's very nice magnetic clasp here. I am going to charge them up though, because I am going to drop them off to him tomorrow. So here is right. This is pretty neat. Now, I'm not sure if this case has a battery inside. I don't think it does. There's the left. So if you have... Oh, yeah, it does have a battery. Look at that. They're charging. They have a charging indicator there and there. And then this here, I'll plug it in to charge this whole thing. So it'll be nice and charged for him to play with. Some instructions here. Oh yeah, and the important thing here is that he wanted them to have external buttons. He wanted to use the button out here, and apparently the on-off and the volume control is on the outside here, and then this little hole, I guess, would be for the actual microphone. This is very nice. So these on Amazon were $130 or so Canadian. And as you saw, it cost me $60, which is, half price. And if I would have waited, it would have been a little bit cheaper too. But, what are you going to do? He's going to be happy with these. I'm going to plug them in and charge them. And maybe in the description, I'll let you know if he likes them. But yeah, definitely hearing aids. They're not just headphones. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Reasonable quality it looks like, but there's only one way to really find out. On to the next one. Next one up is this one here. It's actually out of the bag because I had to use one. And, this is less interesting, but more of a PSA. This is an Amazon Basics USB 3 extension cable. This one here is nearly 10 feet. And I find 10 feet is about the maximum you want to go in a passive cable. It means a cable that doesn't have any electronics in it. If you need to go further, there's a company called Plugable who has active cables, USB 3, which work fantastically. I think they go up to, like 50 feet. But at the 10-foot range, you really can't beat these Amazon Basics USB 3 cables. I'm not sure which company makes it for them. But if you need one, definitely grab these Amazon Basics ones. I think they're $11.25 here in Canada. I'll put the links in the description. Worth every penny. You get full speed USB 3 and it's 10 feet. And the reason I bought this, I actually bought 2 of them. The reason I bought them is because I want to do a multi-camera setup for streaming on YouTube, and you can't put more than one USB camera on the same USB controller. So got this. I also have an extra USB controller that goes in PCIe if needed. So yeah, eventually these two cables, I've got one already I've been using, and Dustin Watts's free touch deck, or well, actually the Touchdown, that is the assembled version, not the project version. Link in the description for that too. Should make for some pretty good live streams in the upcoming future. Got to get back on the live stream train, because eventually in January I'll have to go back to teaching, so I won't have as much time to stream. So yeah, look forward for that. Those streams coming soon. Next one up is this one here. It says holder ×2, and I genuinely forgot what is in here because it came in. It was ordered July 24th, came in November 10th, $4.45. So it's been almost a month, because we are now December 5th, I think, at the filming of this. I don't remember. But yeah, it's been a while. This is how slow mail has been coming in, and especially because I had to stop spending so much money because I'm not teaching. Oh, so they did come in. Interesting. So some of you will know what these are. Some of you might not. So if you are a sewer or a knitter, these things are called T-pins. And I think I will zoom you in a little bit closer so you get a good look at these. So these T-pins, called obviously for their shape, have one very sharp, it's like a needle point, basically, on the end here. So that's a needle. And I think this is used by knitters and sewers to keep pieces of clothing or pieces of cloth together while you're sewing. But that's not why I ordered them. I ordered them because as an automotive tech, we run into these kinds of connectors. These are just a standard component connector. I mean, they have different shapes. I just clipped this one off of a scrap wire harness I have. But if you look here, this is rubber. And this rubber is to prevent water from coming in. So if you need it plugged into your circuit, for example, and you need to test to see if your circuit is working, you use these T-pins. You can slide them. Actually, usually you lubricate them a little bit so they don't tear the rubber, but you can slide them up the wire and it'll actually make contact with the terminal there. And then you can come over and clip your multimeter lead, or just touch it with the pin end of your multimeter lead here, and you can easily test if your component is working or not. So I don't know if you can see in there. I mean, well, here, maybe I can rip this apart. Sometimes there's a lock on these. I don't think this one has one. Oh, this one might be locked. I don't know, I don't see a lock. I'm just going to take this off so I don't stab myself. There we go. So that little plastic is off there. And you see little pins in there. And usually those pins off, there's a little bit of a latch here. All of these connectors they work slightly differently, but they all have this, it's the same concept. So as long as you can find the part. This is not my depinning tools at the moment. I'm just using a knife. Probably a bad idea. Got it there. Just had to lift up that little tab and then you pull this out. There we go. And so what the T-pins actually do, while this is still plugged into your circuit, it goes down here. The jacket of the PVC here, that's just damaged because I used pliers to pull on it. Typically you don't. I just don't have my regular prying tools here. So you would shove this in and it would go far enough that it would actually hit bottom, and it would go and touch either the copper that's on the inside here, you just go in like this. You kind of have to be a little bit, yikes, almost stabbed myself. There we go. Kind of goes in far enough that it goes and touches either the crimp, or it goes in and touches the copper on the inside. So, and this is why you lubricate it, because sometimes you have to push through. Let's see if I can actually get it to exit out. There we go. So there we go. So there, it's touching the metal on the inside there. So these T-pins, they're not officially used for this. It's just a lot of the technicians I know, that's what we use. And they're kind of expensive. So here it was $5, and I think I got 400, or either 400 or 200. I mean, it's been a long time. So there we go. Don't forget the plastic housing kind of keeps this pin in place as well. So very good. This method is called back probing. So front probing is you would check it directly from here, but back probing allows this to happen while it's still in here. You would shove it in there, and then you can do your testing. There we go. You can do your testing while the thing is plugged in. So if you need a sensor reading or so, it's better to do this than to pierce the insulation on the PVC here. So yeah, got a whole bunch, and it took a very long time for them to come in. On to the next one. I kept you zoomed in for this one because contrary to the other one, I know what this one is. This says something like jaw? Plier jaw. Okay. Super expensive. October 7th, arrived November 29th. So nearly 2 months. $15.57. Yeah, wasn't happy about that, but you'll see what it is, and I'm a bit of a fanboy. There we go. What is this? Some of you know already. The true fans know what this is already. This is a set of crimping jaws, but these are fancier crimping jaws because they are so small. So I'm guessing the size meant they had to be, they machined more precisely, I suppose. So what are these for? Well, if you look, the top of them, oops. So the top there has a little bit of a sort of like a rounded, like an M shape there. And look at the size of this one, and look at the size here. So that is smaller than here. So it's a set of crimps that needs two sets of wings, one set to grab the wire, the other set to grab the insulation. So this one would grab the wire, this one grabs the insulation. And this is one jaw that I could not find for my new crimping pliers. It needs the smaller set, which I already have a set of handles. So it's for these guys. So these guys are the pin that goes into this connector. This is known as a JST connector in the remote control vehicle world, but they're, pretty much all, JST makes so many connectors, but this is just known as the JST connector for the RC world. So I spent a lot of money on this, $15 for this tiny little thing. I'm hoping it'll work. Let's give it a shot. So these are supposed to fit into SN pliers. So these are SN48B. I don't think the numbers after the SN mean anything aside from like the jaw that the pliers came with originally. So let's hope that these fit, because I'm going to be really disappointed if they don't. So that's the first test. Just going to crimp them in place there. Oh. Looks like they're going to fit. So I can use either the new screws or the old screws. they fit. It's a good start. Alright, let me go get some wire. I'm going to try my best to keep this in focus, but no guarantees. Just checking which hole. I think I'm going to use the second biggest one here. I'm not sure which one. This will be my first crimp. So it's the biggest one. Okay, bigger one is on this side. So that's where the wire holding end, the insulation holding end is going to go. And I like to just drop it right in there. Just give it a little bit of a squeeze to hold it. Oh, it's falling out. Actually, I think it's fair enough for it to go all the way that way. All the way kind of low. It will rest on that little edge. Okay, gonna shove a wire in here. And I gotta make sure that the insulation actually fits inside there. Having a really hard time seeing if it's in there. I'm just gonna go for it and we're gonna adjust accordingly. That's all the way crimped. Oh my god, it actually worked. I'm going to give you guys a close-up of this before I put it in the connector here. Just going to do another one. But you kind of see you got to slide it. I don't know if I'm in focus. You got to slide it all the way down to the edge here. Put a little bit of pressure on it just to hold it. Slide your wire in. And the insulation has to go past the first set of wings there. There we go. I think I got it. Let me give you a closer look at these. I am really not sure how well you can see that, but it looks like this set of wings here, the furthest one up, has grabbed the insulation, and this set of wings here has grabbed the wire. So I do believe that was successful. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit closer in editing here. Hopefully that's clear. If not, well, not. But anyways, that just slides right into a connector. I've got the negative marked here. And I believe that the little pin here, I don't know if you see that little barb up in the middle there, that barb needs to slide upwards. Sort of like, I think so, at least. No, the barb goes down because, again, probably out of focus, but you see the little track. I don't know if you can see that track down there. So, negative on this side. And the little barb will go down the little track, I think. Oh, it's not fitting. I'm not sure. May have had to go one smaller. Flip it around and see if it fits there. Let me put it back through the ringer. One smaller. Ooh. Looks fancy when it goes one smaller. I think one smaller is the way to go. Let's see if it now fits with the barb. Oh yeah, clipped in perfectly. So I'm gonna ring this through. So it was actually the second smallest one that it needed to go in. Again, that's what that one looks like. And we're gonna pop that in. There we go, clipped in. And that is a finished JST connector. Little remote control car type JST connector. So, I am very happy with my purchase. It's expensive, but apparently this thing does DuPonts as well. So I'm kind of excited about having crimped DuPont connectors. I mean, what can I say? I'm a crimp fanboy. last but not least is this one here. This was 12.42. It was ordered with Prime, so it got here super quickly. That is this. My PC, my Windows PC, does not have a Bluetooth function on it. So Dustin Watts's free touch deck and ESP32 Touchdown don't work. I'm pretty sure they work over Bluetooth. But either way, it's time for me to get Bluetooth headphones for live streaming and all sorts of... Anyways, it's time to add Bluetooth. This guy here on Amazon was like $10 plus tax. So that's the $12. Apparently the drivers auto-install on Windows. And it just works. So I was very close to getting a Plugable one because I don't want to mess with stuff that doesn't work. And Plugable is like premium brand, but Plugable was $25 and this one was $10. So I figured I would buy this, try it out. If it's junk, send it back and get a Plugable one. So that's what I like about Amazon. If the product is junk, it's so hassle-free for me. I just literally throw it back into the envelope that it came with, tape it up, and drop it off at the corner store. Basically, any Canada Post location. It's gone. So I'm going to give this one a shot, and I will tell you guys how it went in a future video. But yeah, it's time to add Bluetooth. Here I am. And these 4 items, the 5th one is already gone to my grandfather, and it turns out he likes them. So, good stuff. These 4 items make up today's mailbag. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons who allow me to buy stuff like this to make cool projects or live streams or even finance my day job. I guess it's not a day job anymore, but my weekend job. So yeah, thank you so much to my Patreon patrons, and if you want to be part of the awesome crew, head down in the description below. There is a link there. $1 a month makes a big difference. Actually, I think it's $2 now because of the Patreon fees and stuff. Always ruining a good thing. But anyways, thanks for watching.